For my disorder presentation, I chose to talk about schizophrenia spectrum and other psychotic disorders. This is something that hits close to home. I have a few family members on my mom's side that are schizophrenic, and I also have bipolar that runs in my family. So I've always wanted to just learn more about it, especially knowing how my mom grew up. I kind of want to understand them a little bit better. So this is one disease that I always try to just research more on. What is schizophrenia? Psychotic disorders. Schizophrenia is a disorder in which the person may see and hear things that are not present. They tend to act crazier than normal. They have delusional behavior and hallucinations. Types of schizophrenia, and these are the subtypes that are schizophrenia related. I did write on a notebook paper just a little bit more about them so that you all will understand what happens with that type of schizophrenia. Disorganized schizophrenia is when someone is gesturing frantically, giggling about nothing, making facial expressions that you are unsure of. Catatonic schizophrenia is when someone is quiet. They don't really say much, can't really do anything. They just kind of sit there. Paranoid schizophrenia is extreme suspicions and delusions. Undifferentiated schizophrenia is basically everything all in one, except they don't show the typical symptoms. They can act normally compared to those who can't exactly control their emotions. And this causes of schizophrenia is genetics. It's unsure of which gene causes this disorder, although more than 20 genes have been implicated to show that they could in fact cause schizophrenia. Dopamine and glutamate in the central nervous system is unregulated. Brain structure can cause an onset, possible prenatal infection or disruption. Other psychotic disorders. Schizoaffective disorder is depression and bipolar, and one. It's schizophrenia and a mood disorder. Schizophreniform disorder, which you're going to have to bear with me on some of these words, is a short span of schizophrenia. Usually it'll last between 1 and 6 months. Brief psychotic disorder is it's a short and sudden response to a traumatic event or a stressful event, where, like, for instance, a death. Delusional disorder is a false belief that they are being followed, plotted against, or that they don't have the disease. Shared psychotic disorder is when one person in a relationship has a delusion and the other one ends up matching that other person, and they have the same tendency. They end up I'm trying to think of the word. They end up having basically the same thing that the other person has. It's almost like a hand-me-down. Substance-induced psychotic disorder is caused by the use of or withdrawal from drugs. Usually crack cocaine is what causes the delusions and the hallucinations and the slurred speech. Psychotic disorder due to another medical condition is the hallucinations, delusions. It's usually also affected because of brain function, which could be head trauma, a brain injury, things of that nature. Paraphrenia is some symptoms similar to schizophrenia or a delusional disorder, and it's not recognized yet in the diagnosis manual, but it tends to come later in life. Usually, it comes with the elderly or anyone who is suffering from neurological issues. One movie that I loved growing up, in that Russell Crowe did. He's the main star in the movie. He did a really great job of being that character who has schizophrenia. In the movie, he suffers from paranoid schizophrenia. It is based on a true story. He battled it for decades, but recovered later in life. I believe he started experiencing it symptoms around age 30, and in the movie he had bizarre behavior, paranoia, delusions. Another movie that had another psychotic disorder that I loved was Shutter Island with Leonardo DiCaprio, and in it he was delusional. I don't think he had uh, when I was reading about this movie, just to kind of get a refresher, it didn't say that he had paranoid schizophrenia, but I would believe that he did in fact have that. And in it, the wife was manic depressive. The wife ended up drowning three children. Their three children. So it is a very good movie. And then here is my references.